so much for taking some time to join for class, for your yoga practice. Today our focus and emphasis is going to be on the front side of the body and the abdominals and opening up the hip flexors and a little bit into the quadriceps. And then we'll also spend a little bit of time lengthening into the hamstrings as well. So I want to give you a moment before we get started. If you do have blocks, either one or two, those are going to be really helpful for this practice, not only in some ways to make it a little bit easier, bringing the ground up closer to us, but we'll also look at some ways we can make it a little bit harder. And if you don't have blocks, you can even use a folded blanket, a pillow, or even like a little end table, just something that can raise the ground up for you, and I'll show you how you can kind of be creative with that. Another moment, if you want to get some music started, I like to make these videos without music because my music might not necessarily be your favorite music. So if you want to just take a moment to get that situated, please do that now. And as we get ready to practice, just going to invite you for a moment to come into a comfortable seat. You could sit with your legs crossed like I am. You could sit on your shins. You could sit with your legs extended. If you're really having a rough day, you want to just take a moment and just lay down. That's totally fine. We just want to be able to be relaxed and present for a few moments. So as you get yourself into that position, kind of work out any wiggles, any fidgets, and then close your eyes. And take a deliberately deep breath in. And a nice slow exhale. And then a full deep breath in. And this time, as you exhale slowly, really relax the body. Let the body get fully, deeply relaxed. Another full deep breath in. Now see if you can exhale, slowly relax a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And while your body's on your mat in this room, let your full awareness come to your practice. For the next few minutes, allow yourself to be fully present with what you're about to do. Make a little cushion from the day that's already been, whatever's happened, whatever experiences you've had. A little cushion for whatever's coming up later for this evening. Just let all that stuff go. So being fully present in what we're about to do. Moving our bodies with intention, with breath, so that the practice becomes a meditation. Sink a little bit deeper into your breath. As we bring our hands to meet at heart center, ensuring it's a heart-centered practice, we're not going to move with the ego, with the mind. We're going to move from this space right in the center of our chest. Let's set that intention out into the universe with vibration, with sound, the sound of Om. We'll chant 3 times together. Nice, full deep breath in. take an extra moment or two here if you need it. And once you're ready, we're going to come lay face down on our mats. So we're going to use one of those blocks right away. And don't be alarmed if this is a little uncomfortable at first. If it's way too much, you can definitely do without it. But we're going to set the block long ways along our mat. We're going to try to fit our bottom ribs right above the block so that our belly rests down onto the block. And you might need a moment just to kind of find the sweet spot. If you had a big lunch, you might feel it a little bit, right? And your body's going to possibly tense into this a little bit. See if you can maybe use your hands, right, or your arms if it's a little bit too much, just to kind of find that sweet spot. And then as you start to surrender, see if maybe you can loosen up the arms a little bit. See if you can really relax into that space. We hold so much tension in the front of our hips, and for a lot of us, we have issues maybe with digestion or in our belly. And see if you can soften a little bit more. If you feel really released here, you can let the arms kind of stretch up overhead and really let your body fully sink down into that block. You might even feel the heartbeat across the belly. Right? Just keeping the focus inward, try not to panic, try to stay calm, surrender a little bit more, a little bit more. Now with the belly pressed in, see where you can fit the breath into your lower back, into your upper back. Full inhale. And then as you exhale, surrender the body a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And try that again. Fill up all the empty space with breath. And exhale, surrender a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Try that one more time. Full breath in. And then slowly exhale, exhale, exhale. And so hands come back underneath the shoulders now. Let's press back up. And for the time being, you can move that block forward in between your hands. And then we're going to start with just some nice, easy, organic movement. So maybe you want to cat and cow, articulate the spine, moving through some of that push and pull as you kind of create waves with the spine. Maybe you want to kind of circle the hips a little bit. Really just kind of ask your body. Right, we tell the body so much. Really ask the body, what's it that's going to make you feel good? What are you craving? As you kind of take some organic movement, maybe you kind of combine the two, waving the spine. Maybe you want to turn your hands to stretch your wrists a little bit. There's no right or wrong here, friends. Just take a few moments to feel your way into it. Whenever that starts to feel like enough, when you feel like you've really locked in breath and body, hands will step a little bit further forward. Curl your toes under, lift your hips up to the sky. First down dog of the day maybe. Might start to bend your knees, shift your hips. Right, if it feels a little sticky, I encourage you to move. If you feel a little stuck, you might want to move. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more grounded today. You want to just straighten the legs, press the arms out. Maybe you need to close your eyes and focus on your breath. Again, this is just free form to move yourself however feels good. There's no right, there's no wrong. We won't spend too much more time here. And then when you're ready, come forward to plank, top of a push-up. Holding there for a moment, belly draws in. Arms are nice and strong. We're going to activate a little fire now. Bending at the elbows, see if you can lower your chest right on that block that's between your hands. Right? You're going to feel the center line of your body engage. You're going to feel your belly pull in. For some of us, might be able to lift your hands up off the block. We're only here for a moment. Really light that fire. And then hands to the mat. Push. Come back up to plank. And lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. And then take another moment there. You might need to shift or adjust a little bit. Little shirt adjustment for me. Then we're going to start to come back to plank. Nice full breath in. And then exhale, bend the elbows, lower all the way down to that block. Once you hit the block, pull into the midline. See if maybe you can float those hands up for a second or maybe two. Hands to the mat, nice and strong. Push. Rise up to plank. Back to downward facing dog. Woo, little heat going now as we shift through downward facing dog. We're going to try this 3 more times. Don't be discouraged. Right, this will be some of our hardest work for this class. We just want to heat the body up, prepare it for the other work we're about to do. When you're ready, back to plank. Bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Chest hits the block, maybe the hands lift, try to pull the belly, pull the low back in, squeeze the core. Hands to the block, push. Downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Woo! A little bit spicy. We're here for 2 more of these. Stay with me. Forward to plank. Bend the elbows, lower to the block. Hands float or lift. Squeeze the elbows in and back. Hands down, push, plank. Woo! Downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Only 1 more, friends. Stay with me. Forward to plank. Bend those elbows, try to lower with control. Maybe this is the one, the hands lift up, float. Good work, hands down, push. Hips up high, downward facing dog. That block can move forward, get that thing out of there. Right leg to the sky, bend your right knee, open up your hip. Just let it feel good for a second. Pushing the left heel down, driving the arms to the earth, and then look forward. Big step. Woo! And lower the back knee. That rearranged my whole outfit here. And once you step the right foot forward, bring your hands up to your front thigh. We're just going to pause there for a second, letting our hips sink down and forward so you feel that stretch through the front of your left hip. And then with your hands on your front thigh, see if you can take a nice inhale. Push the front knee forward, lift the chest up, so push into that right thigh. And then exhale, bend the elbows. See if you can lower your chest all the way down to your front knee. We're going to do that a few times. So it's a nice full inhale as you come up. A nice slow exhale as you come down. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Inhale up. And then exhale down. Hands are going to frame your front foot. When you're ready, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Now we're going to take both blocks on a medium setting, and we're going to shift forward so that our hands are on the blocks. Now, if this is too much, you could always turn the blocks up 1 setting. You could always be up on your fingertips. If you can plant your palms, it's really nice to square your hips and then kick that left leg back. So kind of creating a big T shape with your body. And as we hold here, see if you can flex the left toes towards the shin. See if you can drop that left hip so you feel that right leg straight and strong. We're here for 1 more breath in. And then finally, sweet relief, left foot meets your right and forward. Fold over your legs. So we got some good heat going already. You can wave a little side to side. I love to grab onto my elbows. Creates a little bit of loosening in your spine as you might rock a little side to side. You can play with the position of your feet, maybe a little bit wider. Feels a little better. Maybe bending your knees if your hamstrings and low back are stiff or sore. Just be a little playful here. Allow it to feel good. Don't force it. Take your time if you need a bonus moment or 2 here. Don't rush it. When you're ready, come back to center. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Big reach up to prayer. And then hands to heart center as we reset. And find a nice inhale breath. Arms go back up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Dive all the way down. Hands up to your shins. Let's rise up halfway. So kind of that same feeling as when your hands were on the block. You're lengthening your spine. You're trying to straighten your legs. I like to think of somebody kind of pulling my hips back as I press my head forward. So we create as much length as we possibly can. Just here for another moment. And then forward fold all the way down. Hands to your mat. Step your feet back, downward facing dog. Hips up in the sky. Maybe it needs a little bit of dancing still. Maybe you're ready just to plant your heels down. You might even lower your head a little bit towards the ground. And holding here for just a moment. Try to find at least one big full breath in and a nice smooth exhale out. And then let's come forward at plank, top of our push-up. This time we're going to drop our knees first, make it a little bit easier on ourselves, and then bend your elbows, lower all the way down to the ground. Once you're here, baby cobra, low cobra, tops of the feet are going to push into the floor. Knees lift up. And we're going to use our legs to lift our chest. So you're going to feel some squeeze in your glutes as your hands might want to come up off the ground. Maybe you can use a breath to lift up a little bit higher. Inhale, inhale. And then exhale, release back down. And now we're going to do that a few times. Inhale, lift and peel up off the ground. And then exhale, release. Try 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Child's pose, everybody's favorite. Press your seat back through your heels. Let the arms stretch forward. And take a moment, settle the forehead to the mat if that's accessible. You might wag your tail a little bit side to side. Might roll your head across the mat a little bit. Always a good place to check in. And when you're ready, roll forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips downward, facing dog. Now this time we're going to raise the left leg up to the sky, bend your left knee, open up your left hip. Right, I like to press my right heel down and really turn my chest so I can open that space to lift the left knee up. 1 more breath here, and then look forward, hug your knee to your chest first, and then step that left foot between your heads. Good job. Lower your right knee down. Hands are going to climb their way up to the front thigh, and then we're going to press that thigh bone down and forward as we lift up. Inhale, inhale. And then lowering down, exhale, exhale. And try 3 more with your breath. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Hands come to the mat first. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then we're going to launch up onto that left leg with our hands to our sideways or halfway blocks, right? So lifting up with a tall spine, but kicking back with our right foot. Nice strong left leg. Holding here. So think as you kick with your right foot, you reach with your head. Create as much length as you can, trying to keep your hips nice and square. I'm going to hold here for another 3. Deep breath in for 2. Exhale for 1. Step forward and forward fold. This time let's go right to hands to shins. Lift up halfway. And then exhale, forward fold. Hands to the sky, come all the way up and touch. Hands to heart center. Take an extra breath here. Full inhale. And full exhale. Inhale the arms up high. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Hands to the mat, step your way back, downward facing dog, hips up high to the sky. Inhale forward to plank, and then your choice. You can either lower the knees down, or you could do our yogi push-up, chaturanga, bend your elbows, lower halfway. Tops of the feet press so we protect our back, especially if you're gonna straighten your arms to upward facing dog, shoulders back, chest lifts, and then we'll meet back downward facing dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the sky. Holding here, breathe in, and breathe out. If you can, reach forward, grab one of those blocks. So let's put that block right underneath our head. Some of us might be low. You might try also medium setting. See if maybe you can rest your head down on that block and push out tall through your arms. So as you get a little more flexible, a little longer in your stance, you might be able to rest a little bit of the weight on the block, and that might help you to press your heels down towards the earth. And just play with this for a minute. Maybe it's not even the medium setting. Maybe you go up to the high setting so you can really press your head down, lift your hips up, press your heels down towards the floor. But keep driving those hands down and forward. Keep the arms active. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you took that block, let's move it back forward. And then look to your hands. You can either step or jump, yogi's choice, to the top of your mat. And forward fold. Hands to shins, come up halfway. And then exhale, forward fold. Hands to the sky, reach all the way up. Hands to heart center, and exhale. So now we've got a little bit of heat, a little bit warmed up in our body. Let's do some rounds of Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation A. If you're new to it, just do your best, follow along, and do the best with your breath that you can. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat, step or jump back. Plank to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump. Top of the mat and forward fold. Arms to the sky. Inhale. Hands to heart. Exhale. Right back up as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Hands to shins, halfway lift, prepare. Hands to the mat, step or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump, top of the mat, and forward fold. Arms to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Right back up as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. Hands to shins, halfway lift, prepare. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then this time, press your seat back to your heels. Good work, child's pose. Shift the focus to your breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale slowly. always come here to return to the breath. Make sure the breath is present if you need a few bonus rounds before you come back up to hands and knees, tabletop position. So we're going to bring one of those blocks back between our hands, and now here's an opportunity to make these poses just a little bit more challenging. If at any point this doesn't serve, if it's not good on your body, this is just a little bit more for advanced variations to get a little deeper into some of our stretching. So when you're ready, downward facing dog, and right leg up to the sky. Bend the right knee, open up the right hip. And now here's challenge one. Draw your knee to your chest, come up on your fingertips, and see if you can step that right foot onto the block. Whew, that's a challenge. Once you're there, lower the left knee down. Now with the right foot a little higher, you'll notice as you come up to that front leg, we get a much deeper stretch in the left hip, specifically the left hip flexor and the psoas on the left side. Now, if that's enough, you stay right there. If it's too much, take out the block. If you want a bit more, arms come up and back. So now there's a bit of back bend. You're gonna feel deep sensation in your left hip, but just be where you can be. We're gonna hold for 4, 3, deep breath in for 2, exhale for 1. Hands come down. And now we're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step your left foot. See if you can hover it next to your right. Right? We're just going to hold here for a second, working on that straight right leg stability. Evening off the hips, dropping the head. So now there's a deep stretch in that right leg. Woo, I can feel it. One more breath here. And then take your left foot, land it near the back corner of that block. And now you can soften the right knee. Then take your hands up to your hips. And then sit your hips back. Almost feels like chair pose. So we're going to sit back in our heels. And we're going to press down with our hands into our hips. Shift the weight to your right foot. A little bit of a challenge. We're going to rise up. Bring your left leg with you. And if you have a squishy block, this is especially challenging. Really challenging all the stabilizers in the right ankle and the right hip. And then nice and slow, see if you can bring that left foot just for a little tap back to that original spot. Sit low in your hips, right heel presses down. And then right back up, draw your left knee to your chest. Woo! This will get the fire going. See if we can do 2 more. Light tap down with the left foot. And then drive off that right foot, bring the left knee back up to the chest. Ooh, one more time, stay with me. Left foot taps. Good, push, drive, come on up. Last challenge, you might reach your arms up to the sky. We're gonna hold it here for 4, 3, 2, stay with it for 1. Hands to hips, last transition, you're gonna step that left foot back. Woo, thank God, the party's not over yet though. Arms are gonna come up, and then we're gonna spin the back heel down. Now we're in warrior 2. And again, if you have a squishy block, you're gonna notice you have to stabilize a lot with that right ankle. Keep the right knee over the right ankle. We're gonna hold. We're gonna challenge ourselves here. Focus your attention. Tuck your tailbone. Watch your breath. Watch the muscles in your face. Stay relaxed. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little more work. Right arm on the right thigh. Left arm up to the sky. Side angle. Deeper stretch now because of the block in that right groin. Left arm can either go up or up and over the head. Spiral the chest open and hold for 5, 4, 3, stay with me for 2, 1. Nice job, friends. Hands to the mat. Hop the left foot in about 1 foot on a 45 degree and see if you can straighten that right leg any amount. Woo! Notice with that foot lifted, a little harder to draw the right hip back. Just do your best and then lengthen your spine and see if you can fold again into that right leg. Holding here. And even though we're compressed, we're going to do our best to breathe in deep and exhale slow. Inhale deep. Exhale slow. One more time. Inhale deep. Exhale. Good work. Hands to the mats. See if you can pull that right foot off that block. Really good job. My block went forward a little bit, so I'm going to readjust it between my hands. Downward facing dog, option to be here. Option to go to child's pose or come to plank and take a vinyasa. Bend the elbows. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. What's nice about that block being there is that's going to kind of show us we don't really want to lower any lower with our chest than that block. So that's another reason I love that for this sequence. All right, one full breath here together. And then left leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open up the hip. Here's that good challenge. Look forward, draw your knee to your chest, maybe come up on your fingertips, squeeze, 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 and then step. Woo, I barely made it. That left foot onto the block. Once you're there, right knee comes down, top of the right foot to the floor, and then you can climb your way up to that left thigh. And for some of us, that's it, or the block is too much, and we slide the block out. All right, if you want a little bit more, hips sink down, maybe the arms reach up so there's a bit of a back bend, but listen to your body. Don't force. Be in a stretch, not a strain. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come down, nice work. Tuck the back toes, and then with control, try to bring that right foot forward, but hover off the ground. So the left leg is straight and strong. A lot of work on that left leg. We're going to hold here for 4, 3. Try to square the hips, drop the head for 2, 1. Lightly place the right foot down. Both knees bend. Hands to the hips. So we're going to sit back like chair pose. Left heel presses down into that block so the hips can sink down. Now we're going to gather the weight in the left foot so we can bring the right knee up as we stand. And we'll have a few chances to smooth it out. Right foot comes down. See if you can make it a light tap, a light landing. Sink the hips back. Try to lift your chest, butt low. Now drive off that left leg, come all the way, back up. We'll try 2 more. Right foot down, left knee bends, sit low. Drive off that left leg, come all the way up. Nice work, 1 more. Right foot taps. Push those hips down, hips back, chest up. Now drive off that left leg, bring the right foot with you. Add a challenge, arms up to the sky. Try to focus your gaze. We're here for 5, 4. Stay with it for 3, 2. Slow transition, hands can come to hips. Right foot takes a big step back. Woo! A little help from the wall for me. And the left foot still on that block. Doing great. Arms up to the sky. And then we're going to spin the back heel down, arms out. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So you might notice the block, my block wants to slide forward. I have to suck my right leg in as I tuck my tailbone nice and strong here for 5, 4. Big work on the inner groin. Core is strong for 3, 2, 1. Side angle, left forearm on the left thigh, right arm either up
or you extend the right arm over your head. One straight line from your right foot to your right hand. If you're taking this variation, spiral the chest open. Home stretch, friends. Stay with it for 5, 4, 3. Deep breath in for 2. Exhale for 1. Hands down. Woo, thank God. Step the right foot forward about 1 foot. Right foot on a 45 degree. Left leg straight. Try to lengthen out the spine first. And then fold over that left leg. Nice deep hamstring stretch. Staying right here. We're compressed, we're a little bit out of breath. Right, a lot of work, it's hard to find it, but see if you can deeply inhale, slowly exhale. Find 2 more like that. Full inhale, full exhale. 1 more, friends. Full inhale. And then a little bonus challenge. Right, see if you can keep the left leg straight. Pull it in and up. Woo, as you step back. Downward facing dog. So much good work there, friends. Option, child's pose, down dog or plank, and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. All right, now with no blocks, we'll add a little bit more challenge to our standing poses before we start to slow things down. So right leg up to the sky, bend the right knee, open up the right hip, look forward, knee to chest, squeeze, and then imagine the block is still there as you step between your hands. Big time core and hip strength. Lower the left knee down. Now you may take one of those blocks with you. We're going to add a little variation. Right hand outside your right hip, sink the hips down, and then now the left arm up and back. So this is a deep, deep stretch down the left side of your body. If you're able, you might bring the right hand all the way down to the ground, but keep the hips low. Keep lifting the chest. Keep lifting the solar plexus for 3, 2, 1. Hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step forward, and just simply forward, fold. Hands come to the hips. Chair pose. Push those hips back. Keep those hips down and down and down as you lift your chest up and up and up. Take a nice deep breath, stand tall. Now push the hips forward, find a nice juicy back bend all the way up. And then exhale back to chair. Good, let's do that a few times. Inhale, hips forward, chest up. Exhale, hips back. Chair pose. Do 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale to chair. 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale to chair. Good. Now see if you can shift the weight to your right foot. Lift your left heel first. Just notice the balance start to shift, and then light as a feather, step your left foot back. Maybe a little smoother now off those blocks. Arms up to the sky. And then spinning open, Vira 2. We made it back here. Now this seems like a vacation with all that hard work, right? Look out over the right fingers. See if you can tuck the tail. Bend that front knee over the front ankle. This is our last big effort in this pose, guys. Stay with it for 5, 4. Breathe deep, focus for 3, 2. Keep the front knee bent. Flip the right hand. Let's try to reach back now. Should feel really good. Reverse your warrior. Up and back, up and back, up and back. Now side angle. Option to go forearm to thigh. Or You might work your right hand all the way down to the ground, left arm either up or up and overhead. So a little bit deeper now into this stretch. Keep the back leg pressed into the ground. Left foot presses, chest opens. Last big effort here, friends, for 5, 4. Try to tuck the tail. Lengthen that left arm for 3, 2. Nice job. Hands to the ground. Left foot steps in about 1 foot to 1.5 foot now. Straightening the right leg. Squaring off the hips. Lengthen the spine. And then forward fold into that right leg. So option, you could stay right here. Great stretch. I like to add a little shoulder opener with this one. You might take your hands behind your back. Gotta push the right big toe down for balance. And then if you're able to interlace your hands, knuckles up away from the sacrum, and then you might even take the knuckles forward. Woo! Now we're getting the hamstring, the shoulders, the chest, so beautiful. Holding here now together wherever you are for 3, 2. One more breath in. Nice job, friends. Hands to the mat. Here for 3, 2, 1. Hands to the mat. Step your right foot back. Left foot meets your right. Either rest in down dog, child's pose, or you not know it, plank to vinyasa chaturanga. Nice and slow, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Right, all that work on one side. Don't worry about what's coming. Just allow that work to absorb into the body. Find the breath, make it bigger, make it slower. When you're ready, left leg up, bend the knee, open up that hip. Peek forward, imagine that block is still there, knee to chest, knee to chest, knee to chest, and then step between your hands. Nice job. Right knee to the ground. Now you might bring that block again off to your side so that you can rest the left hand down. If you have the floor accessible, that's great. If you're on the block, you might stay there. Just sink the hips, lift the chest. To add one more layer, the right arm up and back. So now there's a back bend. And holding right here. Keep the facial muscles soft. Keep the chest lifting even as the hips sink deeper for 3, 2, 1. Hands down to the mats. Tuck those back toes, lift the back knee, and then step your way forward. And just for a moment, nice relief, forward fold out over your legs. Hands come up to hips, chair pose, bend the knees. Really active, push those hips down and back to lift your chest up. Hold there for just a moment, little bit of heat. On your next inhale, rise up. Now push the hips forward, lean back, take a nice big back bend. Chair pose, hips sit back, push those hips down. Push your tail towards the ground, lift your chest off your thighs. And then back bend, standing up, hips forward, lift the chest, lift the chest. Let's do one more, hips down and back. Chest up, push those hips, push down, push down, push down, push down. And then standing back bend, all the way up, hips forward, chest lift, chest lift, chest lift. And then now as you come back into chair, weight into your left foot, lift your right heel up off the ground. So we're gonna try to shift slow. Slower you go, stronger you get, and then as you raise the right foot up, might be a little easier, a little smoother now to step back into our lunge. Arms come up overhead. Virabhadrasana 2, open the arms. Sink down into that left knee, maybe a little bit deeper than your comfort zone, right? So for me, it's here, but if I go, oh, just that last little inch, challenge yourself. One more time in this pose, tailbone tucked, belly strong, arms strong, but the face is soft for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side angle, left forearm to left thigh, option 1. With the right arm up. Come back here, do your work here. Option 2, left hand to the ground, or you can place it on a block. Right arm might sweep up and overhead. So one straight line from my right foot to my right hand. This is it. Home stretch, friends, for 5, 4. Spiral the chest open, tuck the tail for 3. Deep breath in for 2. Exhale, 1, hands to the ground. You made it. Nice job. We made it. Right foot steps forward. Both legs will straighten. Draw the left hip back as you lengthen your spine. And then you might just fold into that leg. Juicy pyramid stretch. If you took it on the other side and maybe you liked it, hands interlace behind. Raise the knuckles off the sacrum. Try that with balance. And then pushing into the left big toe and the right heel, you might be able to fold a bit deeper into that left leg. Here for 3, 2, 1. Release the hands down. Great effort. Step back. Downward facing dog. We'll all be in child's pose in a second. Last little bit of effort. Give me a little bit more here. Coming forward to plank. Close your eyes, get high up on your toes. Push the mat away, suck your whole core. Everything in and up for 4, 3, 2. Take one more full breath in. And now start to bend the elbows. Stay with me, lower slow for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down. Bend your knees and let your feet windshield wiper side to side. Side to side. From here, take your left arm over the front left corner of your mat. So about a 45-degree angle from your shoulder. Right hand underneath your right shoulder, and then nice and easy, roll your way towards your left hip. And feel a nice big stretch to the chest on the left side, even through the front of the shoulder a little bit. And you're not stuck if you need to adjust your hands a little bit. Right? Don't go crazy rolling all that weight over until the arm and the chest feel okay. If you feel comfortable here, you could step your right foot back behind you a little bit for a little bit more of a kickstand. And then just breathe and hold here. Slowly make your way back to center. Same thing on the other side, right arm out to about a 45. Left hand underneath the left shoulder. Slowly roll your way to your right hip. Feel that deep stretch in the front side of your right chest, your right shoulder. Holding right here. Optional, you could step the left foot back behind you, create a little bit more of a kickstand. That doesn't always work for my body, but if you got it, it feels kind of nice. And then when you're ready, slowly back through center. Alligator or seal pose. We're going to come up on our forearms. So this kind of feels like a lazy upward facing dog, just pressing the elbows down, drawing the arm bones the forearms towards us to lift the chest up. Nice, gentle back bend. Holding there. If you're really feeling good with your back bend practice, if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can press the hands down, lift the elbows up. You can even walk the hands back towards you. Not necessary, right? Still getting a lot of back bend on our elbows. The more you work the hands forward or backward, just keeping the hips down, and then I like to roll my shoulders back and really feel that lift in my chest. If you can't breathe, that's usually a good sign you went too far. So maybe soften a little bit and hold in here for 4, 3, try to find a deep breath in for 2. Exhale 1, and then slowly release. From a back bend to a forward fold, so take your time. Press your seat back into your heels. Child's pose. If it's accessible, the arms extend forward, the head rests down, and the hips are nice and heavy back on the heels. Take as much time as you need here. There's no rush. If it feels good, stay with it. You're going to start to make your way down onto your back. So always like to leave a little bit of space, right? If you're kind of running short on time, or if you just feel complete in your practice, that's beautiful, right? Coming into Shavasana, coming into final rest. If you have a couple extra moments, you might take a spinal twist. You might lift your legs up the wall. Give yourself a few moments just to integrate any last stretches, any last movements that your body needs. But we really do want to try to spend at least a few moments in stillness, so don't rush. But if you're headed towards Shavasana, just make your body nice and big on your mat, on your back. And then try to let go of all control of your body. Let it all go. You can even soften the breath now. Let it be shallow and simple, in and out of the body. Give yourself the time and the permission just to integrate all that beautiful work. Taking the next few moments to rest your body, rest your mind. And then a little bit deeper as you let it all go, let it all go.
Start to bring your attention back to your physical body. Before you move anything, see if you can use a breath to expand and really feel your body as you inhale. Really try to feel the shape of your body change as you exhale. Be like a kid, like you're exploring your body as you inhale, feel yourself change. Notice again how it feels to change as you exhale. Take your time as you integrate some small movements. You might start at the extremities, at the fingers, and the toes. Maybe that turns into some circles with your ankles and with your wrists. Eventually stretch your arms up overhead. Take a big morning stretch across your body. Let your lower back lift. You can point your toes away from your fingers. And then lightly hug your knees into your chest. Get a nice big squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take some gentle rocks from right to left, left to right. Right to left, left to right. Eventually roll onto one side. Take a moment, just pause in that little fetal position. Let everything come back into place. Take as much time as you need. Move slowly as you come up to any comfortable seated position. No rush. Take your time. Soften and close your eyes. Bring your hands to meet at heart center. So as we start our practice with an intention to move from the heart space, just revisit that space. Bring your energy, bring your attention back to that space. In order to vibrate that center, send that vibration outward, we use the sound of Om. We'll chant together 3 times. Deep breath in. Namaste. Friends, thank you so much for practicing with me. From my heart to yours. Namaste.